Welcome back, everyone. New Mutator here, and I'm going to be casting Game 5 of Myth Kickballers Week 3. So basically, Rat King already won this series. Milkman only able to take Game 2. And so Milkman's team's just playing to save face. Now this is Clash on the Cloudspine flag rally, but it's not nut or no unit trading. This you can actually trade, and so it's one of my least favorite map game types to play. Kind of like Game 4 of this series. Like I'm not too fond of either one of these. And the reason for this is because it's kind of the Tro show with the overpowered giant units here. Basically, whoever controls these Tro outperforms everybody else on the team. And if they lose the Tro, then your team loses. But if they keep the Tro, then basically your team has a pretty good chance of winning. So everything kind of rests on these two units here. We can see Adrenaline taking them for Rat King, and then Giant Killer General taking them for Milkman. Now, a couple of, like I said in the previous cast, there were occasionally roster changes throughout the game, as we did pick up Osmodian, I think, for our team. So once again, Rat King, myself, Donsky, Paladise, 10, Osmodian, Kremisi, and Adrenaline. For Team Rat King, for Sons of Bessie, which is Milkman's team, we have Scratch, Gamer, Giant Killer General, Renwood, Kruniak, Sam the Butcher, and Mercadon. Now it is Flag Rally. So basically, units are going to be rallied here for Rat King, and maybe these guys will tag these back flags here. For Milkman, it's going to be pretty similar, tagging the back flags, but also rallying some units to defend these two flags here and here. And beyond that, running the Tro in to probably scout to the middle, and probably scout and perhaps engage some of the with the quicker units, because control of the middle hill here is pretty invaluable for the outcome of the game. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of this game map slash game type, because it's been played a lot, and there's pretty similar strategy used every single time. That's kind of the way I see it. I don't see a whole lot of variation with this map game type. And as you can see, Rat King doesn't actually give me anything. He basically gives me one goal in this game. So this was kind of hilarious. I thought kind of a hilarious way to cap this series of games, to emphasize the fact that I played a very minor role in the outcome of this match.
Game on.
And the other interesting thing I want to point out is that Milkman actually traded for a Bray Unor, which you don't really see very often. That's not something that's done very often at all. And the other thing is Milkman doesn't really tag these back flags very quickly. As you can see here, at the very end, Gamer's going to move in with a unit or two. Maybe
Flag
Sam the Butcher
captured.
moves out with one. But yeah, he didn't have any.
Flag
He
captured.
didn't have any of these brigands to do that with, so they are going to tag their first 4 flags a little bit slower than Rat King's team. So Adrenaline's going to move up. He's going to meet Giant Killer General. Now what happens
Flag
next
captured.
is actually really interesting, so I'm going to get rid of that. Leave the chat up. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see more of the map.
Flag
And
captured.
I want to show you kind of
Flag
how this
captured.
game ended how it ended up how it did, how it worked out the way that it did. So
Flag captured.
Milkman's team is going to take control of
Flag
this hill, as
captured.
we see Rat King's team, his units are streaming to these 2 flags in order to defend. Whereas Milkman, not nearly as many units going to those flag areas at this point in time, as a lot of them are here. Adrenaline and Giant Killer General kind of dancing around each other, not really going to engage. Giant Killer General is just going to slip around, try to kick these berserks here, and Adrenaline's going to move in, and he sees these units, these really tasty mortar dwarves, and he really wants to maybe put a dent in those. He's going to kick 1 berserk and move out. But the other thing is, while he's consumed with the thought of taking out those mortar dwarves, I don't know if he realizes that Giant Killer General is now in a position to take both of these flags in the backfield. There's literally nothing there. He just kind of went straight through, and now he is going to be able to tag 2 more flags for his team and potentially put them in the lead. Having said that, though, Adrenaline does kind of a counterattack. Instead of kind of messing around with this flag, he is, I guess, going to move to do the same thing so that his team is not too far behind. I'm guessing that's what he's doing. I'm not really sure what he's doing, actually. Maybe he wants to lure these units to a artillery unit, such as a... No, that's Gamer. That's Milkman's team. Now, the other interesting thing is that... Oh, where is it? Yeah, so those units vacate the flag. Giant Killer General actually kicked these units on the flag, but he moved out to lure them and kick them one at a time to kite them, but actually neglected to tag flag 1 all the same. He thought he had tagged it, but didn't really. He was just shy of tagging that flag, which was pretty interesting. I didn't actually notice that while playing the game. The other thing is here's Adrenaline moving in. He is going to focus with these Tro and take out these Mauls one at a time, which is probably the best way to do that. Sustain maybe 50% damage, a little bit over that on that one Tro. He is going to move in, try to take out Gamer, but retreat when he sees that Ring of Fire go down. He is going to move in again. Gamer, I think, is going to do it again, but do just a little bit of damage on that Tro, not very much at all. So kind of expert use of the Tro there.
Flag captured.
I think Giant Killer General does something like that too, which is a pretty good move with his Tro at some point. So I think he might be moving in here and try to take this flag from who's this, Donsky, through sheer force of will, and he may be able to do so. Let's go ahead and zoom in and watch this happen. He's going to try to focus these units down, but kite them at the same time and maybe do some damage while trying to minimize. If you micromanage your Tro, you can do this pretty well, but at the same time, it is kind of difficult to be able to do that.
Flag captured.
But I think he's kiting Donsky pretty well here, although he is going to sustain a lot of damage from these Mauls in the process. But at the same time, he will take flag 4. Donsky doing a pretty good job not retreating, not showing his back to Giant Killer General. Actually manages to freeze one of those units there and do some damage. However, this is where I think Giant Killer General pulls a pretty good move. He's going to take a little bit of damage from that Mortar Dwarf, but he wants to minimize the amount of damage he takes on this Tro because he wants to be able to use it to take control of, at least one more flag. So Paladise is going to try to suicide, but Giant Killer General wisely actually has a pretty good move, sidesteps that unit so that it misses and then kicks it from the side. So pretty cool move there as I spit all over my screen. And Adrenaline is going to tag flag 6, I believe, and end the game. So that's pretty much the way that it went. Nothing at all happened here on flag number 3 where I was located. I think Kramisi was nice enough to give me some units, or somebody did at any rate, as I was given a Warlock to play with. But didn't see any action at all, as we can see here. Yeah, Kramisi and myself saw no action at all. So that's going to be it for game number 5. Real quick, I want to show you what I meant by the Tro show. So we can see almost all of Milkman's team's damage came from the person using the Tro, so Giant Killer General there. So 187 damage out of 284 damage. So only, there was less than 100 damage dealt by the remaining 6 or 7 players on the team. 7 other players on the team. So pretty interesting when you think about it. And he actually managed to get more damage than Adrenaline, who had the Tro for Rat King's team. Adrenaline with 156 damage, which is over half of the damage on Rat King's team. The other player that did get a lot of damage was Donsky, as he tried to focus down Giant Killer General's Tro. Donsky did lose a lot of units, 7 units, I guess. And Paladise, I guess, was in there also, so he lost a lot of units also. But yeah, 70 damage is going to be less than half of the amount of damage that Adrenaline had. So 17 kills for Adrenaline, 23 kills for Giant Killer General. And, if we look at just the kills, that's even a bigger indicator of what's actually happening with a map / game type such as this. 17 out of 20 kills were done by the Tro for Team Rat King, and 23 out of 26 kills was done by the Tro for Milkman's team. So all but 3 kills on either team, which is incredible, I think. So yeah, that's my main objection why I don't really like this. Just because it's not really a team game. Like, it doesn't really seem like a team game to me. Not really, But yeah, that's a small gripe, I think, overall. I would have preferred, maybe some more team oriented maps, like Hervergomir. Oh gosh, I don't even know how to pronounce it anymore. I thought that was a pretty good team type map, but I'm kind of biased. I tend to prefer light unit sets to dark unit sets, but some dark unit sets are pretty fun. Like what was the one before that? Kara Kadarn. I thought it was a pretty good dark unit set. I kind of like that one. But anyway, thanks again for joining me, everyone. And yeah, we'll see what else we have for you in the future. Hope you enjoyed these videos, and I guess we'll see you in the next match.
Game over.